What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Some new, well, I should say a new card has come out, and that is Suship. So I'm going to review this card, and then I'm going to go over every other Suship card that exists just to kind of piece it all together because the archetype came out quite a while ago. It's obviously really, really cool archetype. Very unique, very neat. And there's like a few cards that I feel like I may have missed, like in translation. Like there's three Exceed monsters, and I don't really remember all of their effects. So I thought I'd read this one and then view it in context. But I like to do this like in particular, like the way that I do it by reading it because I like to read effects as objectively as humanly possible. So if it has a good effect, it means like it could be really good in the future. Like I feel like it's good to judge it objectively versus in what's already out. But we'll look at it right now. I think they're calling him Gunkan, but like gross. Like I don't, not gross, but it's just a weird word. They should just say Suship, Suship Red Shari. Like what is this? This is like a Star Wars term, isn't it? Anyways, a level 4 Aqua Fire, sick, dude. I think they're all like that though. Actually, that's a really unique. Okay, you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. This card becomes Gunkan Suship Shari while in your hand, deck, field, or graveyard. I'm pretty sure that's the vanilla monster, so the vanilla sushi monster. Which, it's like basically having 6 copies now if you play it. I don't know if you would do that. I mean, there's a lot of really good, like, normal monster support at this point, being able to summon from the deck and everything, but obviously it's, like, really important, so I can't imagine that you would only play this and not the vanilla. You can reveal one other Suship Shari in your hand, special summon this card from your hand. So that's even better because you can just reveal like the vanilla. And then you can special summon one Gunkan monster from your deck. Whoa, that's kind of sick, dude. Heck yeah. But its effects are negated also immediately after this effect resolves. XYZ summon, or Exceed. Someone in the comment section has said, why do you say XYZ and not Exceed? I saw on Twitter one time people who make fun of you for saying Exceed, so it made me self-conscious, but that's how I thought you say it, like as a shorter. Anyways, Exceed summon one Exceed monster from your extra deck that lists the summon monster in its deck using this card and the summon monster as material. Dude, that's like so good. You're not normal summoning in your XYZ in your Exceed summoning. That's obviously very, very awesome. And as the pool of the cards gets better, it can, it's only going to get more useful. Obviously, a very, very good effect. Probably the best Suship card that exists so far. But hey, I like it. I really do. Okay, so we'll go ahead. There's only they're not that many. Let's see here. This is really funny because the vanilla monster has this like really long text. It's finally got to visit that harbor, specializing in Gunkan Suships that I've been curious about for a while. The premium Shari here is limited to 2,000 Suships a year and usually uses specially developed smooth aged rice, giving it an extra boldness not found anywhere else. I think it's like a sushi review. I won't go too far into it because obviously it's just kind of funny, but it'd be cool to own this card. It just seems like a very unique thing. It seems like they had a lot of fun making this archetype, which is always a good thing. That's always a great thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! And one other thing before I go over all of these cards, like when I do these card reviews and I say like cards stink, like don't take it personally. Like I like to view these like a meta context, even though I'm not like a meta expert. Like I try to look at, I know what effects are good, I know what decks are good. So if I say a card like isn't like all that gas, it means it's like it's probably not going to be seen in Rogue Tier or Tier 2. You're not going to see it in a tournament. Like that's just the nature of Yu-Gi-Oh! No matter what your personal results are. So just keep that in mind. I love bad decks. That's pretty much all I play. So, again, that's just kind of how it works for me. Okay, so here's the field spell. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkan monster, lame, should say Suship, even during the damage step, interesting, you can place one Gunkan card from your deck on top of your deck. Egyptian God support, yo. Once per turn, if a face-up Gunkan monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card, so either battle or card effects, activate this effect, your opponent pays life points equal to that monster's defense in the graveyard. Then you can apply this effect. Special summon one Gunkan ship Shari from your hand. Then special summon one Gunkan Exceed monster from your extra deck by using that card you control as material. No kidding. So pretty, obviously a pretty good field spell because I think there's something to do with stacking. So in one of these effects, it's like revealing and such. So that's always a very good thing. And now that there's 6 copies at most of Gunkan Suship Shari, which actually is pretty good because, well, you can only use that effect once per turn, but it depends. Like if you were to use like the vanilla and then special summon the Shari from deck, you'd probably use the vanilla because I think one of these has an effect if it has that as material. But nonetheless, it's a pretty decent field spell. It means your opponent's basically gonna have to deal with this card, or else they're gonna have to deal with a lot more than just that. Okay, so this is Gunkan Suship Uni class Super Dreadnought. This is a level 5, so they do have different levels. So 2 4s and 1 5. I know one of them level manipulates 2. If this card is Xyz summon, you can apply its effects in sequence based on the materials used. You can only use this effect of Gunkan Suship Uni class Super Dreadnought once per turn. Gunkan Suship Shari, draw 1 card. I'm pretty sure because it counts as an on the field, that also means it gets it. I know it doesn't say it counts as a name while it's used as material, but I don't think that matters. Pretty sure. Okay, Gunkan Suship Uni. This card gains the ability to attack directly. 2,500 attack. I mean, respectable for sure. Once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. You can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkan monsters you control. Special summon from the extra deck. Negate their effects. Okay. Has to be from the extra deck, which kind of stinks. So you're at least getting 1, obviously. Which, you know, it's all right. That's a decent effect for sure. Kind of situational. Like, you probably don't want to blind this going first, but, you know, if your opponent has, like, Verte Anaconda or something, I don't know. I mean, you get to attack directly 2,500, and you also kind of have that decent effect, so maybe you get multiple. I just hate that. I wish they just had either special summon. Like, if this said special summon monsters, this would be an actually good card. But unfortunately, a lot of the times for these like average decks, I'll call them, Konami loves putting a bunch of restrictions on like for them. And you only get that effect if you use Gunkan monsters too. It's not like this is even though it's a generic, 5, obviously no one's going to make this outside of this archetype. So I really don't know why. Like, that's such a dumb restriction. Okay, this is Uni. You can reveal one other Gunkan card in your hand. Special summon this card from your hand, then apply the following effect based on the revealed card. If it's Shari, so obviously the new one counts too. You can special summon the revealed monster. Interesting. So yeah, it's always good. Either place the revealed card on the bottom of the deck. You can target 1 Gunkan monster you control, change level to 4 and 5. Then you can add 1 Gunkan Suship Shari from your deck to your hand. Cool. That's awesome, man. Like, these cards are good, and like, make no mistake. Now their extra deck so far is a little underwhelming, but like, the core of this, like, none of these effects are bad. Which, if you only have good effects in a deck, like, the ceiling only gets higher, and I think ceiling is probably the really important thing. Okay, so this is Gunkan Suship Shiroru Class Carrier. 2 level 4 monsters. If this card is Xyz summon, you can apply its effects in sequence based on the materials used. You can only use this effect of this card's name once per turn. If it was Shari, you can draw 1 card. If it's Shirao, jeez, you can add 1 Gunkan spell and trap from your deck to your hand, which is probably going to be the field spell, meaning that you can reliably make 2 of your extra deck monsters each per turn. While a face-up card is in the field zone, Gunkan monsters you control special from the extra deck cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects and gain attack equal to their original defense. So they go up to like 2/7 something. That's fine. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Why not? Yeah, so the idea pretty much is that you're going to make this, you're going to draw a card. Always nice, right? Who doesn't like Upstart Goblin? And then you get to add the field spell if you don't already have it, which is cool because you're almost always going to search a field spell because you get to do a lot of stuff. Like if your opponent, like, if they leave the extra deck and all that kind of stuff, you get to do like more extra deck stuff. You're going to be drawing a bunch of cards. This is kind of just like a part, like this feels like a Link monster effect, if that makes sense. So that's, pretty good. And this is the other main deck monster, Shirao. I don't know how to say that. If you control a Gunkan Suship Shari or an Xyz monster that has Gunkan Suship Shari as material, you can special summon this card from your hand. You're basically not normal summoning. Like, it's not a very necessary thing, which is awesome. I think that's really cool. During your main phase, you can special summon one Gunkan monster from your hand, except a copy of itself, and then you can take any number of Suship Shari from your deck or graveyard and place them on the top of your deck in any order. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. It's a free special summon, and then you can stack your deck. So what is it must be, one of these I know coming up is like, look at the top amount of cards in your hand, and then I think you get the special summon. This is the last extra deck monster here. Ikura, class Dreadnought. Awesome. That's really awesome. You can, if this card is Xyz summon, you can apply this effect sequence based on materials, blah, blah, blah. You only use it once per turn. Sorry, all of them have that one draw one card. And then if it has Ukura as a material, which really makes the new card that much better because you get to choose like what you bring out. It can make a second attack during each battle phase. It's also really nice because you like normally the field spell lets you Xyz summon using one card, but this lets you get the draw effect and the secondary effect. Once per turn, when your Gunkan monster special summon from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent, which obviously you can do this yourself. You can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. So this is a battle phase based archetype as of right now, obviously. I mean, the rank 5 technically is like interruption during your opponent's turn. This really feels like a rank 4 deck more than anything else. A 4/5 deck, like flexible. So I don't. It's really, you just have to see. I don't know. Like I like this archetype so much for some reason. And then this is Ikura. I feel like I'm saying that weird. I feel like I'm saying it super Japanese, and I'm not. Ikura. If you control a Gunkan Suship Shari, you can special summon this card from your hand. Again, all of that's amazing. You can only special summon this card like this once per turn. During your main phase, you can activate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, either add to your hand or special summon an activated Gunkan Suship Shari. Also, shuffle the rest into your deck. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. Very cool, very cool. And then this is the trap. I think it stinks, though. When you activate this card, you can also reveal one Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand. Reveal 3 Gunkan monsters from your deck. Your opponent chooses one of them to add to your hand. Also, shuffle the rest into your deck. If you revealed Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand... if you revealed the Shari in your hand at the activation, you can choose the card to add to your hand instead of your opponent choosing. Which, I don't know, like a trap... Like, this is a spell card, man. This is a spell card. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you could banish this card. They're talking 3 Gunkan monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into deck, and then draw 1 card. I feel like if this card said, well, except the turn it was, like, what do we need this many restrictions for Suships, man? Like, I feel like if you're playing pure Suships, whatever that means, not that you would, because it's just not a complete archetype yet. It's close. Like, I feel like you just really the extra deck that needs to come together. The main deck feels pretty solid. If you can just figure that out, I feel like this card's going to get thrown away. You know, it's just not going to be in a lot of people's deck list. It's not bad, but it's just too slow. A turn 3 setup, it's not going to do anything for you, right? But let me know what you guys think about all this Suship stuff going around. Are you interested? Do you like it? Do you think it's good? But you let me know in the comment section. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.